Are you writing a book right now? Then you need to hear my 10 steps to getting published. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co creator of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. Catherine and I have written and published 27 books this year, as of this year, our 5-year anniversary in business. We're so excited and we have so much energy, so much enthusiasm and excitement about writing, and most importantly, expertise and experience. So I'm here right now to tell you 10 things you need to know to publish your book. Number one, the tools. How are you going to write your book? You need the right tools, which could just be as simple as a notebook or a journal, or if you like to write on a laptop, it's your decision whether you like to write by hand or if you like to write via computer. I also think it's very, very important to have all the different things you might need, like files to organize your research and different pens if you like to write in different colors to organize your thoughts. So it's up to you, but gather the tools that you need to write your book in the most efficient, effective manner possible. One of those tools should be some kind of schedule so that you can schedule in daily or weekly sessions to actually get your writing done. So whether that's a calendar book, your phone's calendar, whatever you use, that is a tool that you need to write your book so that you can be accountable to a schedule and actually get the writing done. The second thing you need to do to write and publish your book is space. And by space, I mean physical space, but also time. So, what you need to do is designate time and space to write your book. Now, space is really, really important because if you're the type of person who needs everything quiet and still all around you, then you need to have a spot. It can be a big closet, it can be the basement if you need to get away from the people in your house so you can have that solitude and silence. Or if you have a home office, of course, if you like to write in bed at night, wherever is your ideal space, you need to cultivate an experience and an environment that makes you want to just rush and sit down and start writing. Or if you have a standing desk, then stand at your desk. But my writing space is so welcoming. It has my vision board. It has my motivational notes. It has my crystals, my essential oils, all my inspirational stuff all around. And I can't wait to come and sit down and get to work. In fact, last night I stayed up working till 6 a.m. So I want you to get that jazzed about your writing and your work. Your environment will set the stage to welcome you to start working and keep working. Now, temperature is very important. If it's too warm, you might get sleepy. If it's too cold, you might not be able to concentrate. So you need to know what in your space is the most brain friendly temperature for you to work at maximum genius capacity. Secondly, the air, like I like to have airflow, so I keep a fan on, and that just works for me. The lighting is important. If you have natural light or if you don't care about light, whatever, I like certain lighting, so I set the tone and stage for my writing experience. I like to write on a computer because I type super fast, but sometimes I also like to write at night in bed. So I just sit there with my laptop. So it's up to me and my mood. I also like to write in the kitchen and in the living room. So it just depends, or outside. It just depends what's going on. But you need to determine what space is best for you. Some people like to sit in a noisy cafe and they like all the commotion and the noise and the people. I mean, that's different, during the pandemic, we're home. So do what's best for you, but space is very important. Now, I highly recommend that you personalize your writing space with motivational notes and all kinds of things that keep you going. If you want to put up, like I have Wonder Woman on my wall, I have an Oscar above me on my vision board. I have all kinds of reminders of things that inspire me to keep working hard on my screenplays, on my books. I have so many things that symbolize success for me. So what works for you? What motivates you? What are your goals? How can you showcase them and see those images daily to keep working? Music. When I was first writing my first novel, I used to play Mariah Carey song, Make It Happen over and over and over. Oh my gosh, I would play that so many times. And I also had this column from Susan Taylor, the editor-in-chief at the time of Essence magazine. It was called In the Spirit, and it was from September of many years ago. And I had ripped out the page and taped it next to my desk. And it was called, the heading was, There's Magic in Believing. And so I had that, then I was got my Mariah Carey music blasting, but then when I write, I like silence. So, or I sometimes classical music also, not words with lyrics, because the lyrics are like, you know, jumbling in my head where I'm trying to think in sentences to write. So whatever works for you. So just know what space and environment is most conducive for your genius zone, because it literally is your genius zone. So while we're at it, let me just share a couple of things like rosemary essential oil, like aromatherapy is a real thing. It really works. So oh my gosh, it smells so good. And rosemary oil boosts your brain power. It just makes you super alert and it makes me just my brain, my synapses are like so do whatever it is in your environment that makes you um, slide into your genius zone and stay there. Okay, that's your space. Next is number 3, 10 steps to getting published. Number 3 is write. This sounds pretty obnoxious, but you can't just do all the things around writing and talk about writing and join writing groups and tweet about writing and, post about writing. And no, you have to write. And that might be the hardest part about being a writer is writing. Suddenly you sit down and you think of all these things. Oh, I better go vacuum. Oh my gosh, I have to clean up the kitchen. Oh no, I have to go shopping. No, you have to stay fingers on the keyboard and get the writing done. So the way you can make yourself accountable is to join a writing group. You can join something like the Two Sisters Writing Club, where we have 3 hours online every week, where you can come on with us and other writers to commit that hour, just like you would commit to meeting a personal trainer at the gym before the pandemic or after the pandemic. You invested the money, you invested the time, you made the commitment with the appointment, you're going to show up, and that person is going to help you get fit. Same with the writing club or a writing group. You committed, there's other people involved, you committed to the time, show up and get the writing done. So you have to do the writing. Now, when I was writing my first novel, I was a full-time reporter at the Detroit News. I was a reporter. It was it's a pretty intense job. And my hours were 10 to 6, which were often longer than that. But I would get up super early to write on my novel, like 5, 6 a.m., write for a few hours, then go to work. Another time when I had a full-time job outside of the home, I would get up at 4 or 5 a.m. to work on the screenplay that I was writing. So I made that personal commitment to myself that that was my writing time. That's when everything was quiet and still, and I knew I could get some work done then. And I did. I finished my screenplay, I finished my novel, I got it done. You can also sort of write a contract with yourself to get the writing done. You can commit to X number of hours per week. I committed to 4 hours at first, and it became many more than that. But that set the minimum amount of time that I would invest in my writing for my novel. You can actually write a contract to yourself and sign it. Or you can write a contract with your writing buddy, your accountability partner, and keep each other accountable. So you have to get the writing done. And you also can look at, and this plays into the time issue as well. Look at all the things you do in a day, like how much time do you spend scrolling the internet or talking on the phone or doing things that are just a waste of time. Those are the kinds of things that you can trim out for now and make your writing a top priority. Because when you make your writing a top priority, you'll get it done. And then you'll finish your book, you'll finish your screenplay, you'll finish your poetry collection, you'll finish whatever it is that you're writing, the blog posts that you need to schedule every week. Okay, so you have to get that writing done. Number 4 on the list of 10 steps to getting published is networking. Networking with other writers, agents, editors, publishers, people in the writing community. You can do that online, of course. Now it's perfect. There's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Facebook groups, there's LinkedIn. There's zillions of people you can connect with, and it's really, really fun to find that fellowship, that camaraderie. It's fun, but you can also learn so much. When I first started writing, I was a member of the Romance Writers of America, and I would go to their monthly meetings, and I actually became the newsletter editor, and I went to their national conference as well. And that's where you learn from the other writers about the process, about which publishers are requiring what types of work. People would bring their rejection letters or their acceptance letters or their contracts, and they'd share everything about the process. So you would learn from your peers who are all aspiring. And it was really cool because everybody's trying to help everybody. And so networking with other writers in writing groups is a tremendous way to learn about the industry, understand the trends, ask questions, get support, because when those rejection letters come, it's really difficult. So they help you, soften the blow. And so networking with other writers, joining writers' organizations is important. When I went to the conferences, I learned tremendous amounts. I was also a member of the National Association of Black Journalists, and I was president of the Detroit chapter for a year. And meeting other journalists from across America at conferences was just amazing. And I was always honing my craft as a writer by being with these writers, reporters, editors, agents, um, publishers. Fascinating. So network with other writers, and it's easier than ever now with the internet and all the social media platforms. The next thing you need to know in 10 steps to getting published is agents. Are you going to need a literary agent? And if so, how are you going to find one? Or are you going to publish your book yourself? Or are you going to go to an independent publisher? Or are you going to use a hybrid publisher like Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, where people pay us to perform all the tasks involved in publishing your book on a global platform? If you need a literary agent, there are many ways to go about finding one. You definitely want somebody who believes in your work, who represents your genre of writing, and is good at what they do. I would highly recommend, when you're networking with other writers, to ask for recommendations from agents that they've worked with and that they trust. And so you can get perhaps an introduction through those people that you know that you've been networking with. You can also just do a cold query. You can go to websites and learn what the submission guidelines are for each agent. And you can research what agents are the best in your genre and decide who would best represent you. Now, back when I was in the Romance Writers of America, they had editor agent meetings you could have at the conventions. And that was really cool because you sign up and then you get to meet agents face to face. And if they like you and you like them, you can work together. You can also do that online now. So find out who is the best agent in your genre for you, for the type of writing that you do, and reach out to them. And hopefully you can get the representation you need to get a publishing deal with one of the uh, publishers in New York City and get a great book deal. The sixth thing you need to know in the 10 steps to getting published is research. Research is imperative. When I wrote a book with Billy D. Williams, the actor, called Twilight, not the vampire story, he said, let's set it in Brazil. Well, I had never been to Brazil, and our publisher wasn't going to send us there to do the research. So I had to read and learn all kinds of things about Brazil. the food, the culture, the religion, the people, the geography. Woo! It was intense. But I did such a thorough job of the research that when someone who's from Brazil read my book, they're like, "Oh, when were you there?" And so it's very important that if you're going to set your story in an environment that you're not entirely familiar with, you have to do tremendous accurate research so that you can portray everything authentically, because those who know the difference will call you out. And if it's wrong, your credibility will be shot. Therefore, you have to do a lot of research with every detail that your story might involve. That's why they say write what you know, because if you're a doctor and you're writing a story about a doctor, it's easy for you. If you're a barista and you're writing a story about a coffee shop, well, it's super easy. You don't have to do any research because you live that every day. So write what you know. That's the first step. But if you're going to write something outside of your normal realm of knowledge, do the research. Okay. It's easier than ever with the internet at our fingertips. You can interview people. If you have a character who's a nurse, or if you have a character who's a construction worker, or a character who's got some extraordinary experience, interview a real person about it and get that insight that will enable you to write a credible, relatable character. All right. Step number 7 in 10 steps to getting published is write from the heart. Let it sing. Don't allow fear or what will people think or all the insecurities that might be dancing around in your head to block your heart from speaking and sharing this story, this vision, this information. Right from your heart, right from your soul. Let it pour out. When you're writing as your most authentic self, and that's that inner voice that bypasses all the noise of your mind. Oh, this isn't good enough. Or, oh, well, what will so and so think? Or, oh, no, I shouldn't write that. No, write it, at least in the first draft. Write the story that your heart is telling you to write. You can always go back and edit it, but your first draft should be raw, real, hard-hitting, and straight from, your inside of you. And also, when you write from your heart, you're being authentic. You're not trying to glom onto whatever trends are happening or what's hot now, because by the time your book comes out, what's hot now might not be hot anymore. So be authentic. Maybe you'll blaze a new trail in the literary world by showcasing your unique perspective. And you can only allow that unique perspective to shine and come out if you release the fear and anxiety around it or trying to fit into trends. Do your own thing. Number 8, the 10 steps to getting published is visualize. When I was first writing my novel, way back, I've written 35 books since then, but way back then, I kept this vision in my head of walking into Borders bookstore and seeing my book on the new releases table at the front and just being so, so, so happy. And I held tight to that vision. I saw every detail of it. I also saw myself sitting at tables where there's long lines of people waiting to get an autographed copy of my book. I also held visions in my head of my editor calling and saying, "Wow, you did a great job on this book." Guess what? All those things happened, and some of them were even better because for one of my books, I had a son, and in the course of writing my first few books, and we walked into Borders bookstore, and he toddled over to the new releases table and grabbed my book. So that was all the more extraordinary and amazing. My vision when I was first writing, I wasn't a mom yet, so it became even better. So visualization is a really powerful manifestation tool as a writer because you want to see yourself doing the writing. You want to see yourself finishing the book. You want to see yourself selling the book. You want to see yourself promoting the book. You want to see yourself enjoying readers' feedback as they read it and share their perspectives as a result. Excellent. So then number 9 in 10 steps to getting published is set goals. Set goals. Very, very important to set goals. I recommend that you reverse engineer by saying, by such and such date, I'm either going to finish my book, or I'm going to self-publish my book, or I'm going to uh, have it published by a company. So set goals and then reverse engineer from there. So if I'm going to publish my book on January 1st of 2022, what do I need to do between now and then to finish my book, find an agent, and have them shop it, etc.? Or if I'm going to self-publish my book, what do I need to do between now and then to write it, promote it, sell it? It's up to you what your own publishing goals are, but you should set goals, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals. But again, start with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey, of the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Anyway, reverse engineer, start with the end in mind so that you know what you have to do to get there. So by setting goals, you keep the momentum going. So if you say you're going to write 1,000 words a week, then you know you have to hit those goals to keep on track to get the book done on time by reverse engineering, knowing you have to finish that book by May 1st to give you time to promote, publish, all that good stuff. So set goals, really, really important. And be realistic and be gentle, because sometimes life happens and it interrupts your goals, but don't give up. Don't just drop it. Set a new goal. It's fine. That is staying in integrity with your commitment to yourself to write your book. So number 10 on 10 steps to getting published is stay strong and believe. So if you have an agent and they're pitching your book to publishers and you get lots of rejections, think about all the hugely best-selling authors who say they got rejected by dozens of publishers and then finally one said yes. Jack Canfield of Chicken Soup for the Soul and Tim Ferriss have stories like that, and look at them now. So just because 10, 20, or 30 rejection letters come in, don't give up. You wrote this book for a reason. You have a mission and a message. Stay strong and believe in yourself. If there are people in your life who are haters or who might discourage you or just say, you better give it up, that's a pipe dream, or get your head out of the clouds, whatever, just don't talk to them about it. Just keep doing it, and then they'll want an autographed copy of your book and an invitation to your book party when things open up. So stay strong and believe, and journal about it. Journal as a writer. You should be journaling about your book. You should be journaling about what you did today to sort of chronicle your process, any new ideas that are coming, and your vision. You should be, that visualization, step number 8, you should be writing about your vision daily and like seeing yourself as the published author, seeing yourself on stages, seeing yourself, receiving royalty checks, or, being asked to speak, and the 500 people in the audience are all going to buy your book, or 1,000 people, whatever, getting a film deal based on your book. Just see that and write about it. Writing is such a powerful way to manifest because it enables you to commit it to writing, which activates a belief inside yourself and activates some energy in the universe that works magic and miracles. And so journal about it, and then it keeps you motivated. It keeps you hopeful. That is scripting your future, and it's fueling your heart's desires to become that published author. So thank you. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins. My 10 Steps to Getting Published workshop. I've done it at conferences and colleges all across the country. A lot of times it's standing room only, and I'm so proud to be able to present information that helps you as a writer get it done. So just to recap, the 10 steps to getting published are: 1, have the right tools; 2, create the space and embellish the space so that you can't wait to get to work; 3, do the writing; 4, network; 5, get an agent if you need one. 6, research. 7, write from the heart. 8, visualize. 9, set goals. 10, stay strong and believe. If you need help writing your book, I'm a book coach, and my new book coaching program starts at the end of this month, at the end of January. Please go to twosisterswriting.com/store and look for my 6-month book coaching program. I'm also an individual private coach if you need tailor-made guidance to write and publish your book. So I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co-creator of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, best-selling author of many books, and I'm super honored to serve as your guide on your writing journey. Please check out twosisterswriting.com and, of course, all the programs we have here on Two Sisters Writing and Publishing YouTube channel, because our mission is to help you write your book and live the writer's life and savor, celebrate the power of the written and spoken word. Every Monday night, Catherine and I have a show called 10,000 Things, where we talk about the 10,000 things you need to know to write, publish, and promote your book. So check us out Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the Two Sisters Writing and Publishing channel on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell so you'll know every time I go live or upload a new video. Because we want to help you. We want to share our experience and expertise, our excitement, our enthusiasm to help you write your book. So I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and I wish you happy writing. I'll see you next time.